Sup, my dudes, Valk here. Today I'm going to be doing the top 5 best teams slash best categories, in my opinion. This is more so a best categories list, but you guys always ask me for best teams. This is kind of where you want to start, is by looking at the best categories, and you make your team based off that. And it's mostly the categories with either just the strongest options, or the most options, or just the best options, straight up. And before I get into that, I know I've been promising an Abyss stream to you guys. I know I've been saying I'm going to do an Abyss stream, but I've been having massive internet issues the past 2 days. There have been massive outages in my areas for hours at a time. The internet's been running very poorly as well when it is up. So because of that, I'm delaying the Abyss stream until the internet is fixed. So I'm sorry that I was pushing it off. I was hoping that it was going to get better, but obviously it hasn't. And second, you guys are going to see, I don't have a mouse right now because my mouse also broke. Like, it's been a very interesting 48 hours. But my mouse also broke, so you're going to see me have to use a touchpad, so I might look a little goofy sometimes with this. But yeah, I'm going to be using a touchpad for this video and for probably the next couple videos. We'll see. Anyways, let's get into it. Enough waffling. I'm going to go from best to I'm going to go from number 1 to number 5. I was going to say best to worst, but there's no worst. All 5 teams are very, very good. All 5 categories are really good. I'm going to explain why each category is where it is on my personal ranking and explain what makes that category so damn strong. So first off, very easy. This should not shock anybody. Spiritual sensitivity. This category right here is led by Gojo. LR plus Gojo is the lead for the category. Yeah, this category just has options for everything. It has really, really, really strong meta units. It's got Yuta in it. Gojo's the lead. Gojo's really strong himself. Grimmy's in it. Higuruma's in it, Geto's in it. We go down a little bit, and then you can see you also have Jogo for DOT. You have Megami's in it. You have the new UR++ Toto's in it. Yeah, and C++ Sukuna. Just, although there's not, even Peem's in the category. Although there's not a giant number of units in this category, there are so many strong units. And this category has options for everything. Everything. The amount you can just turn your brain off and just run spiritual sensitivity into every single Abyss so far and absolutely dumpster it. This team just dominates the game essentially. Like, it has tools for everything. There is nothing this team is lacking on. There's no weaknesses. There's no shortcomings of this team. It just is the best. It's the best one, absolutely. It has the best options. Well, it doesn't have the best options. There are better units that you can use for certain things, but there's no other units that are all comprised into a single category quite like this. This team is just absolutely the best, in my opinion. It lets you turn your brain off on almost all the content in the game. It does lack some infinite units. Like, there's not a whole lot of infinite units for this game, but let's be real, most of the content isn't infinites. Most of the content is in the form of short stages, at which this is absolutely dominant. To me, this is the best unit, or the best team in the game. Speaking of best team in the game, or the best team for infinites, we're going to be swapping it up now with the exact opposite. Let's go ahead, declick this, and scroll down a little bit. And in my opinion, number 2, second best team in the game is Youth. Now, what makes Youth the second best team in the game? You have Power Reaper as the leader, who's also a very phenomenal unit on his own. And then just look at how stacked this category is. We have Sid, we have Yuta, Geto, Peem, Grimmy, UR plus Golden Wind, Secret plus Rias. We scroll down a little bit. Who else do we have here that's really good? SR plus Noel, UR plus Phantom's Fool, or UR plus Joker. Yeah, just a super strong category. R plus Todoroki. I don't think there's any more that are there that's worth noting. R plus Tyranai. Yeah, there's just a lot of really, really powerful units. This is a really strong team for infinites. You can see you can use Sid in it. Sid's a really phenomenal nuker himself. This is, in my opinion, the best team for Metal Rush right now because Rias reinvigorated it. It's not better by much. I'm going to let you know that right now. Very slightly better than the Megami setup, in my opinion. Because Rias is here. Rias plus Yuta allow you to get really, really far without having to think. In my opinion, it's slightly better than the Megami setup, but it's still really, 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 really strong. Second best team in the game, in my opinion. Yeah, I think this team is really, really, really damn good. So next up is actually something that's going to shock you guys. It's a team that recently got a bunch of support in the latest patch, and I think is now a really, really good team. to go ahead and take a look at, which is Spirit Warrior. Now, I don't have the lead for Spirit Warrior because the new Spirit Warrior lead is the Secret Rare Plus Ichigo Blanco that you get from Abyss, and you guys know I've been putting Abyss off. He is a 100% attack lead, minus 10% cost to Spirit Warriors, which is really good. This is if the Trello is wrong, then it's not my fault. I'm just going out the Trello. But that's really, really good because that's what this team was really lacking, was a good, strong lead, and now it has it. So let's go ahead, let's look at what makes the Spirit Warrior lead our team so insane, and the biggest thing is Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is absolutely the strongest unit in the game. It is not even close in my opinion. He is just insane. Gilgamesh is an absolutely insane unit. He can get up to a 10 million attack stat with just idle buff on his own very easily because of his raised attack and how he works, and he's so strong. And then you have Grimmy on top of it. We already know Grimmy's really, really strong. We have all sorts of good units on it, all in all. There's not a whole lot of support on it, which is fine. You have Joker who's on it as well, who's actually a really good budget lead. But you also had Noelle who's also on it, and then you have Rukia who's on it, which a lot of people really don't know how Rukia works, but her skill is a nuke. Rukia is really, 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 really damn good. SR++ Rukia is super strong. And her being on it helps out a lot. It's like, yes, Freeze 2 did get nerfed, but her active ability is a nuke. It really is. Like, because the way Freeze 2 works, she's able to trigger Freeze 2, or she's able to trigger her ultimate, which freezes the enemy. And then whenever she does a bunch of hits, after the hits are done, the melt damage for that Freeze 2 is normally around 80 million for me personally. I don't know what it is for you guys, but for me it's around 80 million. The fact she's on this category just makes it better. But yeah, Spirit Warrior category, super, super stacked, super, super strong category. Really, really, really worth you guys looking at. If you guys are looking for best teams, I think this category is definitely there. Then we're going to go into number 4, who I think the biggest issue with number 4 is just their leader. Outside of that, they're just an insane category because everyone in the game is on it. Everyone in the game is on Swordmaster, essentially. You guys can see you have Dongai Ichigo, you have Sid, you have Yuta, you have Yamamoto if you want to run him. S-Death is on this. And the lead here is Mihawk. Mihawk is the lead. Now, this is the main weakness of this team. It's why I don't rank this team higher. Red Hair's on the team, Shanks is on the team, but Mihawk being the lead. He is a good unit, don't get me wrong. He's an excellent unit on his own. But for the most part, whenever you're running Swordmaster, you're not really using him for anything other than his leader skill. And that's kind of it. You can see Kujaku Demon's on it. Toji's on it. Super, super strong category. Tons of options for a bunch of situations. You have DOTs. That's right. I forget that SR plus Shinra's on this. That one's just weird. But he's very good as well for a DOT option. I might take Swordmaster into this Abyss because looking at it, it has pretty much options for everything. So I might take Swordmaster in this Abyss and try it out because I'm going to try to do a no spiritual sensitivity Abyss run because, like I said, the team just makes stuff too easy. You have Rukia here who's on it as well. Really, really, really good category. A bunch of units are on Swordmaster. Blue Rose Knight, if you happen to have them, they're really good for AoE freeze too. Just a really cracked category all in all. Super good. If only there was a leader that was like more supportive based, I think it would be nice with Mihawk being the leader and him being so damage hungry, wanting to be fed all the units because of the Hunter passive. He's kind of, that's why I put this category as number 4, because I think him being the leader does take away a good bit from it. Last up is the category I could not go. No matter what, I had to put it in the top 5, and this is number 5. Past this, I'm not saying the rest of these categories are bad. I know there's some really good categories here. It's just that these, in my opinion, are the most like accessible, the most like the strongest categories in the game. And this is Flower. Now, Flower has a lot of leads. It has Rias as the lead if you have her. It has Dark Flower as the lead if you have her. These are your 2 main Flower leads. Really, really good units. Flower, the reason I'm putting Flower on the list, even though they haven't gotten like pretty much any support in a minute, they haven't gotten any units in a couple patches now. The reason Flower is on the list, I say that, but then Rukia is on this list, is simply because this list is, or this team's so generic, it's always going to have access to tools, because what flower is, if you guys don't know what the flower category is it is any unit that is a female. Any character in any anime ever that is a female will always be on this category, making this category one of the most consistent powerhouses that will ever be in the game, because there is a lot of powerful female characters in anime, and whenever they come over to this game, if they do them justice, they're going to be on this category, and this category is super stacked in my opinion. This category has access to just everything. You guys can see how massive this category is with how many units are on it. I think this is probably top 5, and I do believe there's a bunch of other really, really good teams out there. One to keep an eye on that's been slowly coming up is Corrupted Savior and Sacrifice. Sacrifice is another one. These categories are like this, just don't have quite enough units on it yet, but they're very, very strong categories. Like Corrupted Savior, last I checked, you guys can see there's not a whole lot of units on it, but the units that are on it are pretty strong. You have Maki, King of Knights, you have Sung Jin Woo. Yeah, you have a bunch of stuff going on here, but like I said, they're just missing the diverse pool of the other units, or the other categories that they have. But there are a bunch of strong categories in the game. Just got to make sure you guys follow the leader skill. But in my opinion, these are the the best categories in the game. They have the biggest pool of units they can choose from, or they have the best units to choose from, or they simply just have Gilgamesh in them, and Gilgamesh is the best character in the game, like Spirit Warriors. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about my list in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully these internet issues get resolved. Hopefully all my problems get resolved so I can go back to streaming for you guys, because I've been wanting to stream but having to basically live off my hotspot so far, because the internet's so off and on, and then when it is running, it's super laggy. So who knows when I'm going to be able to stream for you guys, but hopefully soon I'll get that Abyss run done. But this is a video you guys have been looking forward to. I've been promising, and hopefully I finally delivered. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.